From the sun-scorched plains of Africa, the lion steps forward as a living declaration of power. Each heavy stride shifts the rhythm of the wild itself. Those smaller move away, and those stronger keep their distance. The lion is not just a hunter. It is a force that reshapes every encounter, compelling every creature to adjust for survival. Out here, no one needs to ask who rules the land. Nature answers with a resonant call rising from the heart of this great cat. In the heart of the African wild, the African buffalo stands firm like a living fortress, weighing nearly 1,300 pounds with a powerful set of horns. When the lion pride moves in, they believe they hold the advantage. One lion leaps onto the buffalo's back, only to face a far tougher opponent than expected. The buffalo twists sharply, shaking off the predator with a forceful surge. Each strong countermove shifts the tide of the encounter. In the end, faced with such determined resistance, the entire pride is forced to back away, yielding the ground to this steadfast giant. Yet the lion's instinct is never quick to surrender. In another place, a herd of buffalo scatters as several lions close in from behind. The tension rises when a river blocks their path. Two lions immediately move into the water, focusing on an individual that has become separated from the group. The chase ends when the exhausted buffalo can no longer keep pace, becoming the reward for the persistent pursuit in the demanding cycle of survival. This moment stands as one of the clearest reminders of nature's harsh rhythm. In a world where every moment is a contest for survival, the leopard is a master of awareness and speed. Yet no matter how agile it is, it always remains within the lion's watchful gaze. The lion closes in quietly, each step measured, before suddenly making a swift move toward it. In that critical moment, the leopard shows rare courage. It springs up, dodging in a split second, trying to keep distance through pure agility. But this test of skill rarely lasts long. With greater strength and weight, the lion soon gains the upper hand. The moment the leopard regains its stance after the chase is also when the lion quietly reaffirms its authority over the wild, a land where the powerful continuously shape nature's balance. In another harsh moment of the wild, the leopard rarely chooses to confront directly, but this time its maternal instinct compels it to stand its ground. Inside the den, it faces a large lioness moving in toward its space. The leopard uses speed and agility to push back, causing the lioness to lose position again and again, with unwavering resolve to protect its young. It gradually gains the advantage and eventually forces the lioness to retreat from the area. This is how each creature affirms its place in the wild. One relies on overwhelming strength to maintain order, while the other depends on vigilance to safeguard life. Along the riverbank, lions sometimes face hidden threats beneath the surface. When a young lion slips near the edge and tries to run along the bank to find a way out, it quickly enters the sight of a large crocodile. In a split second, the creature in the water surges upward with surprising speed, drawing the young lion into the river before the pride can respond. The lions on the bank can only watch, knowing this place is not their domain. In the water, the crocodile quietly affirms its advantage and its complete command of that environment. On dry ground, the lion always holds the dominant position. When a small crocodile suddenly becomes stranded on the bank, the pride quickly surrounds it. A sudden rush forces the crocodile to twist its body in a desperate attempt to regain control. The difference in environment shifts the balance entirely toward the lions. The two species live side by side, always cautious of one another, keeping the boundary between river and grassland as a thin but enduring line drawn by nature. The hippopotamus is the undisputed force of the river. Yet even this ruler of the water must come ashore to feed and warm under the sun. On land, its massive build and powerful jaws are still enough to make many animals keep their distance. But today, it faces a pride of lions quietly tracking its every move. They do not rush in. Instead, they close the distance with patience, waiting for a moment when the hippo loses focus. The tension peaks when one lion suddenly moves onto its back, testing the hippo's reaction. In an instant, the hippo twists powerfully and charges straight toward the river, returning to familiar territory and stopping the pride in its tracks. The boundary between land and water once again reveals nature's rule. Every creature has its own domain, and none give it up easily. The moment it enters the water, the hippo immediately shows the authority of a river-dominating giant. Amid the murky current, 3 lions are wading across when the surface suddenly surges. Not far away, a massive hippo drives upward, displaying the full force of its domain. It accelerates toward the lions, forcing all 3 to split apart and rush back towards the bank. In just a few breaths, the river settles into its familiar order once again, a place where the hippo holds unmistakable control. Across the open savanna, the wildebeest is known for its endurance during long migrations. But today, it drifts into the view of a lioness waiting quietly behind a large rock. When the animal lets its guard down, the lioness moves closer, each step measured and silent. The decisive moment arrives in an instant. The lioness bursts forward, beginning a tense chase. The wildebeest tries to accelerate, yet the sudden ambush leaves it completely unsettled by a rival driven by strategy. This encounter becomes a clear reminder of the intense survival rhythm of the savanna. In this wild world, even a single moment of hesitation can shift the entire outcome. In southern Africa, where the grasslands stretch endlessly, tension rises between two groups of male lions competing for territorial control. Their calls echo across the plains like an unmistakable declaration of challenge. The pursuit begins as the incoming group attempts to expand its range, also seeking a chance to take over the pride space held by the rivals. Pounding footsteps send dust swirling through the air, the lead male pushing forward with intense speed. While their calls mix with the wind and turn the landscape into an arena of strength and strategy. This confrontation is not only a dispute over territory, it is a turning point that will define the standing of the victorious group on the savanna. If the lion represents power, then the hyena is the one that constantly challenges that authority. When they notice a lion feeding, they quickly gather into a large group, using their numbers to create pressure and break the lion's focus. Their coordination from many angles makes it difficult for the lion to stay in control. A familiar scene on the savanna is the moment a lion brings down its target, and the hyenas immediately rush in, disrupting and trying to separate it. They use their sheer numbers to claim the opportunity that has just appeared. The clash between the two species rarely has a clear winner. Sometimes the lion manages to hold on to its prize, but many times it must step back under overwhelming pressure. That is the rhythm of the savanna, where strength and strategy constantly shape the balance of survival. And the question remains, in this relentless cycle, who will hold the advantage in their next encounter? When we speak of the ocean's most dramatic encounters, the clash between orcas and humpbacks cannot be ignored. Unlike many species that yield quickly, humpbacks are courageous defenders. With pectoral fins reaching up to 16 feet, they can deliver powerful swings, that make even a full-grown orca take caution. Humpbacks stand out with bodies weighing up to about 88,000 pounds, a distinctive arched back, and white patterns along the underside. Most of all, they are defined by a strong instinct to protect their calves. In many moments, not only the mother but other adults join in, forming a living shield around the young. They may rotate and create a circle to divide the hunter's focus. Orcas, using their insight, rarely choose a direct contest with a healthy adult. Instead, they look for calves, easier to isolate. Off Australia, some pursuits have stretched for hours, as the pod patiently works to separate a youngster from its mother's cover. Waves of pressure arrive in turns, and over time the mother's stamina begins to fade. At times, orcas even use deception. One may imitate the mother's motions, lifting the calf onto its back to gain a brief moment of trust. That opening allows the pod to reshape the encounter. When the sequence ends, the sea settles into soft, fading ripples. It is a reminder that even the bravest giants can be tested by patience and careful planning on the open water. Strength makes orcas formidable, but intelligence is what places them at the top. With a brain weighing nearly 15 pounds, among the largest in marine mammals, they solve problems, make plans, and coordinate in ways few species can match. They live in close family groups, using pod-specific dialects to communicate, creating a distinct culture beneath the waves. Their command comes not just from speed or bite force, but from experience passed across generations. Techniques like wave washing and coordinated maneuvers against sharks and large whales are remembered and practiced as a living legacy. That is why they are not only strong individuals, but communities with identity. Even so, the ocean is never a stage reserved for one species. In the deep, the sperm whale, immense and perceptive, remains a potential rival. And in Earth's ancient memory, legends like Megalodon remind us that power in the abyss can change. Even orcas cannot be complacent in a sea full of unanswered mysteries. For now, they hold the summit, a symbol of intelligence, instinct for survival, and constant adaptation. The question remains, will the future reveal a new successor? Or will orcas continue to write their own chapter of the sea? In the marine world, few journeys are as demanding as the gray whale migration. Each year, they travel more than 10,000 miles, from the Arctic's icy waters down to the warm lagoons of Baja California. Along the way, steadfast mothers stay close, guarding their calves, the ocean's most delicate gifts. But the greatest danger does not come from storms or cold currents. It comes from an intelligent, persistent opponent, the orca. They do not rush the hunt. Instead, the pod works in teams, constantly trying to separate the calf from its mother's shield. Long, carefully timed rounds of pressure slowly drain the youngster's energy. This is not just a chase. It is a strategy designed to wear down an opponent. At times, more than 20 orcas unite to surround a single mother and calf pair. The surface erupts into white spray, with heavy tail slaps and the steady cadence of the pursuers. Roles are divided. Some disrupt, some distract, and others press the weak spots. Against that coordination, even a massive adult gray whale struggles to hold its ground. When the sea grows quiet again, only fading whirlpools remain. In these waters, endurance and teamwork can overcome sheer size. Orcas show that they are not only hunters, but natural strategists of the ocean. In the warm eastern Pacific, another test awaits the orca, the dolphin. Agile, quick-witted, and tireless, dolphins are a tough challenge for any hunter. They surge ahead at blistering speed, pivot in an instant, and operate as a tight unit. Yet orcas, with superior insight and power, have found ways to take control. Instead of a solo chase, the pod splits into small teams, tightening the ring layer by layer. Some individuals launch above the surface, sometimes up to 20 feet, to cut off escape routes. These leaps are not just for show. They are strategic moves that push the dolphins into a tough position. When one member of the dolphin pod loses pace and reaches its limit, the circle closes quickly, and the pursuit ends in a flash. What makes orcas stand out is not only the result. After they have fed, they often take time to play, leaping and breaching in bursts that feel like a festival on the waves. It is a rare glimpse of family bonds, shared joy, and community spirit within a powerful ocean hunter. Even so, the calm never lasts. The open sea always holds the next test, urging orcas to continue their relentless journey. Within that cycle, they appear not only as leaders of their realm, but as symbols of endurance and unmatched adaptability. In the frigid waters of Antarctica, orcas display techniques so refined that scientists are amazed. One of their most striking tactics is wave washing, creating waves to break the ice where a seal is resting. The pod moves in unison, swimming side by side and powering forward together. A large surge hits, the ice tilts and breaks apart, and the animal slips into the ice-cold water, right where the orcas are waiting. This behavior is more than instinct. It is a skill passed down through generations, a distinct hunting culture. Each individual learns, practices, and improves, then moves as one. It shows that knowledge travels not only through genes, but through teaching and shared experience. Orcas do not stop at the waterline. In rare moments, they even slide onto shore to reach seals or sea lions basking in the sun. It is a calculated risk. If they misjudge it, they could be stranded. When it works, the orca pivots smoothly, secures the target, and glides back into the sea in a heartbeat. The speed and precision make the whole sequence feel like a dance. With groups of seals gathered on rocky beaches, the pod also uses a coordinated chase. As the seals rush into the water, thinking they've found a way out, dark shapes are already in position beneath the surface. Within minutes, the pursuit ends quietly. It is a clear sign that in the ocean, orca intelligence and cooperation leave almost no opening for rivals. For decades, the great white shark stood as the ultimate symbol of fear in the ocean. With a streamlined body, knife-like teeth, and bursts up to 25 miles per hour, it became a refined hunter shaped by hundreds of millions of years of evolution. Few species dared to face that power head-on. Yet in the modern era, a new contender has risen: the orca. They can reach up to 40 miles per hour, with a bite force many times greater than a great white. But their greatest advantage is intelligence and teamwork. Orcas understand how to use an opponent's weak points, even stripping away the great white's edge with a simple tactic, flipping the target belly up to trigger tonic immobility. In that moment, the former ruler of these waters loses all advantage. As seas once ruled by great whites become orca territory, this shift reflects more than raw power. It proves that strategy and cooperation can rewrite the ocean's rules. Instead of relying on instinct alone, orcas demonstrate command through planning and precision, a clear lesson in adaptation and evolution in the deep. Across these unseen boundaries, nature always writes its own rules. Every chase and every shifting moment of advantage proves that no creature remains powerful forever. Only those that adapt continue to survive. Even the lion, the symbol of strength, must face the numbers of hyenas, the resilience of buffalo, the agility of leopards, and the commanding presence of elephants and hippos. As sunset settles over the savanna, the cycle of survival continues, where every creature fights to live one more day, creating a world that is fierce, unyielding, and undeniably captivating.